I'd like to thank you all for being here today and for your compelling testimony. And although I can't thank you for all our American veterans, but I'm sure the American veterans thank you for being here today, too. I sort of agree with Miss Brownlee there. And, you know, we've been told by the VA that the backlog has been worked on and really making progress. And from what you're telling me here today, that's all baloney. And that they're all concerned about numbers and not veterans. And that changing the date of a claim is common practice to reduce the backlog. It's absolutely unbelievable to me that this is going on and nobody seems to be responsible for it. So I'm hoping that we will make progress through these hearings to make that actually happen. I have a question for you, and maybe each of you, name the top 2 things that you would change if you were in charge, Ms. Rule, to make things better. I mean, how do we change the culture here to make it better? And I understand these rules for bonuses is the big problem, but just tell me what you think if you were in charge of the whole thing, what you do. 2 things, and I'll ask everyone else.
I think that if management does something wrong, that they need to be held accountable. They have no problem holding an employee accountable for doing something minor and firing them. Many managers at my office have illegally fired people over and over again. They should have to pay their legal should they be found to be guilty of an illegal firing. They use regional counsel as their own private attorneys. And I'm spending my own time representing employees because they can't afford an attorney. So I feel like the biggest problem in the Department of Veterans Affairs is accountability for the people in middle and upper management.
It's been my experience, too, that you can never find out the name of someone to implement a policy. So I completely agree with you there. Mr. Robinson, what would your top 2 things be that if you were in charge to make the culture better?
Make the veteran the object of our business. The veteran comes first. Okay.
Not the metric, right?
Right. The veterans come first, and the employees need to be given effective tools, training, and leadership. And we can't do that without leadership.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Mr. Soto.
Yeah, I agree. We have to establish policies that place the veteran first before numbers. And secondly, we have to completely think about restructuring the training programs for raters and VSRs. It's time for them to change.
Let me ask another question. For our men and women returning home from the service, what would you recommend to them in order to get their claim processed? What should they do? So there's something that everyone should do as they get out of the service to make any kind of a claim go better? Do you have any ideas on that?
I think one of the main problems is what the VA expects as a complete application is different than what a normal, average, everyday person thinks is a completed application. The VA has rules, and at least in my office, that if they ask you how much interest you received on an income-based benefit and you put 0, we can't take 0 as an answer. We have to ask you, did you 0? So if I know. So there's some really strange rules that we have to follow at the VA that an average person who fills out an application would never know. And the only real way to get your claim expedited anymore is to go through a congressperson or to claim that you're about to call the media. Other than that, you'll have to wait in line like everybody else and hope that we get to your claim in time.
Mr. Robinson, any ideas there?
We have to educate veterans on the process, and that means that we have to get out there and do outreach, real outreach, talking to the veteran and explaining the process. Because we get a lot of documents that we don't even need. The veteran will go to his doctor. He's claiming a knee condition. He'll go to his doctor and he'll send in all these documents pertaining to everything and the knee. If we can simplify it to get veterans to file medical evidence that only pertains to the things they're claiming, I think that would be a great help in just educating the veteran in the process. I think that's what we will make a lot of money doing that, educating veterans.
Thank you. I'm out of time, but I truly appreciate your being here today. Thanks.